Okay, guys, good evening, good evening, good evening. Give me 1 second to make sure that I'm all set up here and ready to go. Here we go. Evening, good evening, good evening. Sorry about that blow back there. Hi, good evening. This is Tara with Tarabeth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Mid-Missouri. Thank you, friends, for joining me tonight. Tonight, if you're a mom out there and you're watching, hey, Karen, thanks for joining. A mom, a grandma, a fur mom, an auntie, whatever you are out there, happy Mother's Day to you. So this is a day to celebrate our fellow women out there, and I hope you had an amazing day. The weather here in, hey Susan, thanks for joining. The weather here in Mid-Missouri has been amazing this weekend, so I got to go get some plants yesterday. My daughter and I took a friend up to Amish country. That's not too far from here. We've got a nice little community up north of us, and we got some beautiful hanging baskets for the moms in our lives, and had an amazing day out there in the weather. So if you're on tonight, give me a shout out. Let me know that you're watching. Tonight we're going to use one of my favorite bundles, favorite suites in fact, that's in the new catalog. So this is the Mediterranean, let's see here, what's it called? Mediterranean Blooms suite, and it's absolutely stunning. So it is gorgeous. And one of the things that I discovered this afternoon that took me a little longer than usual to discover was there's a die in the bundle, the die sets, that die cuts these beautiful images. So if you get the coordinating DSP, so the Mediterranean Blooms DSP, sure enough, look at that, cuts it right out. So awesome. So that's what I did today versus stamping and coloring and doing all that jazz. I do love to do those things, but you know, not really like doing it on the live. So we did so today's card is a diagonal joy fold card. So we're gonna pop it open this direction, and there we go. So super easy, fun fold card that I think is stunning. Anytime you pair a pastel with Night of Navy, it is perfect. So I'm going to get to it. Pretty easy card, shouldn't take too long. So I've got everything cut out. All these dimensions will be available on my blog. So we're going to use a little Night of Navy. We are going to use Peach Pie, and we're going to use Lemon Lolly. So tonight I'm going to bring out my paper trimmer, and hopefully I can get this to where you guys can see it. I still haven't cleaned off my desk. What's it been, 2 weeks, guys? It's terrible. So I'll put it up here. That way I'll pull this way a little bit. So I'm going to line this up at 5.5. So if you have our paper trimmer, it cuts and it scores. So I'm just going to run my score blade. That is the light gray blade, and I'm going to score it down a couple of times. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my corners here. So here's my score corner, here's my top corner. So I've got them right in that little groove, and I'm just going to give one little cut, and that's going to create that diagonal card. I'm going to save that because I'm going to certainly use it for something else. Oh, and I may as well score this. So that was a regular 4 1/4 by 5.5 sheet of Night of Navy. Here is a piece of 3 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So just like that regular card base. Now what I do is I kind of just flip my cutting blade up at the very top when I'm scoring. That way I don't accidentally cut it. Hey Mary, welcome back to the States. All right, so we're cutting that there. And that's all the cutting that we're going to do. I'm going to slide that over there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to fold it this way. All right, we're going to take my bone folder, if I can find it. I ordered 2 new ones last week because I'm tired of looking for it. And if I just have multiple like I do tweezers, I may as well. Okay, so I'm going to take that and fold it in half, burnish it. And then I'm going to take this peach pie and I'm going to do the same thing. Give it a nice, good crease. I am going to layer a piece of that Mediterranean bloom with a piece of peach pie. And hopefully we have enough seal tonight to do this. If not, I pulled out another one just in case, because I know I'm running short. And I've got more of this on the way too. It actually may be in the box that I haven't opened yet. Isn't it terrible if you get too many packages, you don't open them all immediately? Okay. I feel like all I've done for 2 weeks is open up Stampin' Up packages. You know, we're first world problems. I know, Mary, this paper is gorgeous. These are some of my favorite colors. I'm a lemon lolly and peach pie. Ooh. You know me in orange. I am loving it. You know what? I'm going to flip this around because I feel like this has a directional. It doesn't really look directional, but yet it does. So you may have to just kind of look at your paper as you're placing it because you want to make sure you set it the right way. No, Amy, welcome back. I just told Mary, welcome back to the States. Okay, so I've got, I've already cut a piece of the peach pie from the original. So this is going to be, so basically this is a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece of peach pie that I did the same diagonal cut that I did with this one. And then I've got a piece of the DSP that's going to go right along with it. And that was a 4 by 5 1/4 piece that I diagonal cut so that it just layers. So you're usually using your same measurements that you would for card matting. You're just doing that diagonal cut. I'm going to add a little bit of seal here, and I'm going to create that nice, pretty edge and just seal it down. Okay, now we're going to add this to the front, and then we'll be able to get to the fun stuff. There's just not a whole lot to this card. It's pretty simple. Okay, so there's our card base. So any diagonal joy fold card you want to make, there's your card base. Just cutting that diagonal right there. All right, now let's do a little bit of stamping. I think this is the basic white that I want to use. Nope, that looks too small. I feel like I cut it out, but did I really cut it out? I don't think I did. You know what I bet I did? That was the remaining piece from the other one, but that's okay. We'll just cut another one. So we're going to do 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, and then we'll have it. Okay, move that out of the way. We'll do a little bit of stamping. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out, ooh, I didn't get my ink. I knew I was forgetting something. Now I'm really concerned because I don't have my Night of Navy in its slot. I used it today when I made this card. Oh yeah, I did. I put it in its slot that it belongs in. So all of my inks are arranged within rainbow order, and then I have my neutrals at the end. And for some reason, I always put Night of Navy with the neutrals, so that's why I couldn't find it. Okay, I'm going to ink up this Don't Forget Your Birthday stamp because I have a lot of belated birthdays I need to send out because I've been a really bad teammate the last month or two. Okay, there we go. I'm going to give that a quick wipe down with my chamois. And then we'll put this to the side. And then I have these cool little strips that I have remaining. They were like the end of some cards that I made, and I put them all in a stack to save for these thin sentiments like that. So now I'm going to do the happy birthday from Something Fancy. Is that right? Yeah, Something Fancy. And then I'm going to put this Night of Navy up before I get my fingers all stuck in it. Now, this is my favorite new die set. Happy Little Things die. This is just 2 little dies that you get that coordinate with the stamp set. They're online exclusives, But I love these little sentiment dies. They are perfect, in my opinion. So I'm just going to bring out my boho blue mini cut and emboss. And I have a really gross plate, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to put my fancy camera plate on there. Do you have fancy things that you use only for good, like good? I've got fancy plates. Okay, I'm going to line this up. Try to make it even on both ends and get it straight as can be. And then I'm going to put my top plate on and snap it down and hold it in the middle with my finger. And so the reason I do that is I don't normally tape when I'm using my mini cut and emboss. I usually just hold it down. And that usually works well enough. And there it is, a nice straight sentiment. So these dies, I think you get 2 dies for $12. This is by far my favorite die set. Great for every sentiment in my opinion. And I like little sentiments for my front. Okay, so I think that's all the stamping we're gonna have to do until we get to the card base. So let's do a little adhere in here. We're gonna put this on the inside of the flap, and this is folding to from the right in, and that's because as a joy fold, it goes opposite of what our normal cards go. So we'll put that on there. I'm gonna pull that down. And then I'm gonna add 3 strips of seal because this is gonna be a mechanism that opens and shuts. So I do want a little more adhesive than I normally get. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this up and I'm gonna eyeball this as well as possible and put it right in the middle. So I feel like that's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a nice little burnish. And there we go. I'm going to add the lemon lolly to the front. And then well, that's not right either. Maybe I didn't. I don't know what I've done here. I bet these are, no, I do know what I've done. I'm thinking that I've got it all cut out and I really don't. Those are the leftovers from, so we'll do that again. So that's 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. You'll have these measurements down perfectly after this video because I have to cut it so many times. All right. I made this card this afternoon and then we had a barbecue for my husband's mom and my stepmom. So I just ran up here right before this video started. Right before. Okay, so as I said, awesome that these dies cut out the DSP, and this is just so pretty. As much as I love to color, I can't do that well a job. All right. We're gonna do a couple of dimensionals, and I'm gonna peel these off. And we're just gonna put it right in the center in the front. So I truly believe this is for any beginning card maker because all you need is that mini die cut machine and it'll cut this one. So I'm gonna line that up right in the middle. And then I'm gonna add my sentiment, I think, right about there. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of seal on the back, and then we're gonna do half a dimensional. Here we go, we got a half one here. We'll do half a dimensional. Now that's why I love my glass mat, because now I have to rub all this adhesive off because otherwise it'll get sticky on me. Okay. Make sure that's nice and straight. I've got a couple of garden green leaves that I have cut that we're going to layer underneath with a little bit of liquid adhesive. Oh, thanks, Lori. I'm glad you like it. So what I normally do is I normally kind of start layering these and then I glue them. Pop that out of there. We don't need that. Kind of decide where it's going to work the best. Yeah. Maybe I'll just do 3. Yeah, I feel like we're just going to do, well, no, I kind of like that. All right, so once I have them placed and decided where I'm going to do it, I'm going to add these through here with a little liquid adhesive. Kind of turn it around. And so the nice thing about the liquid adhesive is it does have a little bit of a window, so you can get it maneuvered and placed where you want it. The other thing is it runs along the cardstock as well, so you have more than what you had in the beginning. Do that one right there. With a little bit of an angle. And it doesn't matter if it's hanging off the bottom, because that's just going to give it a little more dimension. And since, there we go. Since that's not at the bottom of your card, that works out perfect. So here's our card. Let's give it a little bling, because we don't want to just leave it plain. And if I can find, here we go. I'm going to take your pick tool and kind of slid down a little bit. So let's do one here. Let's do one here. So these are the transparent adhesive backs. And I think these colors are beautiful. So you've got a little bit of Blackberry Bliss. You've got Lemon Lime Twist. You have the Garden Green, which I love Garden Green. And to have an embellishment, these are perfect. All right, everybody's loving it. Thank you, guys. All right, so there's the card front. Joyful card. All right, all of the extra pieces that I didn't need. All right, let's pull out our envelope and we'll be done. Super easy card tonight, but so gorgeous. I just love the Night of Navy. So I'm taking a Memento ink pad, Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad, and I'm going to smear some ink on the envelope, and I inked up my orange, and now I'm going to take this sand eraser and hopefully get rid of a lot of that ink. If you don't have one of these sand erasers, you need to get one. I grabbed mine off of Amazon. See, it's almost gone. There we go. By the time I stick it in the mail, it'll be gone. All right, we're gonna put that up there. Now I'm gonna stick a little piece of like notebook paper that I always grab it from hotels because it works out perfect. All right, we're gonna throw that there. And the reason that I'm doing that is these blends that I'm gonna use, they kind of have a tendency to bleed through. So what I have is I have some Old Olive, and I'm just doing this in the dark Old Olive. I'm just kind of tracing over the veins of the leaf, and I'm not doing it perfectly. And then I'm going to take the light color and just do a quick color here. Because this is going on the outside, it doesn't have to be perfect. See what I mean? This is why I didn't want to color for the card, because it does take a long time. And then you've got to listen to me. yakety yak, yak, yak while I'm doing it. Okay, so while I'm coloring this, let's talk about the amazing new catalog. I've had a lot of people reach out. They are not loving the format of the new catalog. So I want you to give it some time. It's definitely going to grow on you. It has definitely grown on me. When I got it in March, I was kind of the same way. I was like, holy moly, I really don't like this. And it's a month and a half later, and I really do love it. I think it is an amazing tool for a beginning crafter. I think it's an amazing tool for a seasoned crafter. You just have to give it some time. All right, now let's color our flowers. And I'm just gonna do those. This is Light Daffodil Delight. Dude, that's not what I wanted. I wanted Lemon Lolly. So definitely give it some time because it does have some beautiful images in there. Great idea for concepts. And I think if you give it the time, you'll love it as well. There's a couple of things that I think it's hard to get used to not having, but for the most part, it's really fantastic. Now, if your wish list is ginormous like mine was, grab that starter kit. Okay, now that I've done these, what I'm going to do for the center is now I'm going to find that Daffodil Delight. And we're just going to put that in the center, and I'm just going to poke it. I'm not going to color, I'm just going to poke it. So that way some of the Lemon Lolly sticks out of that center as well. But there's an amazing joining special. So I know many of you that are not demonstrators don't want to sell. Who does? And that makes sense to me. I was that person many, many years. But I was also a couponer. Okay, now for the dark one, I'm just kind of poking here. And so I love coupons, and being a hobby demonstrator is just like using your coupons. So you constantly have a 20% off coupon, and that coupon can grow depending on how much you love it, how much you make people around you love it. And I love when my coupon is super, super big. But my current coupon is always at 25%, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so there's our orange. If you're interested in getting that savings, reach out to me. We'll chat about it. We've got an amazing team right now. A couple of you are on here now. It's a lot of fun. And you save money. And who doesn't want to save money? And you get all the new product early. And I know we just got a new catalog, but who's waiting for the new online exclusives? The new online exclusives are going to be available next month for us demonstrators. How awesome is that? I'm hoping that there'll be some good Christmas stuff and fall stuff in there. Maybe do a Christmas in July. I have an event set up for July 13th, I believe is the date. And I'm hoping we can do Christmas in July. All right, so here is today's card. Diagonal Joyful card with those beautiful citrus oranges. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I hope if you are a fur mom, a regular mom, an everyday mom, a grandma, any kind of mom, auntie, whoever you are, I hope you had an amazing day. Thanks for spending part of it with me, and I'll see you here again next week for another tutorial.